One of the components of executive function is what we call self-monitoring. And that would look like the ability to check your work, avoid careless mistakes, things like that. So if your child or you struggle in these areas, there's a couple of cognitive skills that might be driving that. One of those is working memory. Working memory is our ability to hold and organize our thoughts, especially with multi-step functions. Think of it, it's like the post-it notes on our brain, holding the information while we need it. When we're done, don't need it anymore. But we need those post-it notes on our brain to help us follow through. Well, if working memory is not strong, those post-it notes are peeling off. So how that will then show up as self-monitoring or careless mistakes, one would be if they're hearing information like multi-step functions, they may only hear two of the three, or they hear all three, but then the post-it note peels off before they get to the third one. And so they're not following through the full instructions on their work, which obviously then is going to create mistakes. Another skill that's important for this would be processing speed. So if processing speed isn't strong, often there's details that are missed, either that are not heard verbally or even maybe read when you're doing like a test or something like that. Or the other dynamic, when kids have low processing speed, often they'll rush through it to get it done. Because especially like if you think about a test, kids with lower processing speed, what they often experience is everybody's up turning their test in except them, because they're not processing quickly. And, that doesn't feel good. They don't want to be like, well, I don't want to be the last one. So then they'll often rush through the task, or even homework can be that way, where they'll rush through it. Well, obviously, if you're rushing through an assignment, you're very prone to make careless mistakes. So here are some ideas to help with that. One would be create a checklist for them to double check their work. So, things like always have them ask themselves or go back and look, did I answer every question? Did I follow the directions? Did I spell everything correctly? So just like common things to check on can be good. The other would be to tell them to always wait 60 seconds before turning in a test or paper to make sure they're spending that 60 seconds looking it over. I hear from a lot of parents that say, yeah, my child's like the first one done. They have all this time and they could be checking their work and they just don't do it. Well, try to set that expectation up front. And break it down. Just say, just take 1 minute so it doesn't feel like a big deal to check your work. So those are some strategies that can help your child avoid careless mistakes. And if you'd like more information, feel free to give us a call.